the consignee in Ohio. It's a used equipment dealer, and this guy in front of me, it's a 55-ton float with 4 axles. He just unloaded some kind of I think he had a small excavator or tractor, and just picking up these two containers, and his deck is, I think it's like 24 feet, and he has a regular truck with 3 axles, and you see the driver on the right. And I wonder about these 4 axle trailers, right? So I asked him, I said, what's the heaviest you ever hauled? And he says 60. You see, with so a 4th axle on the trailer is not as useful as the 4th axle on the truck, because see, his rear axle, it's a flip axle. It's too far from the load. Now this is tricky, I don't think they can do it like that, because this thing has a rails underneath, right? These containers are designed for those garbage trucks that can drag them with a cable. So now what they're trying to do is they're trying to put the rails on his middle beams. But look at those rollers. The rollers, like closer to us, they're gonna be real close to the tires. They should put something over there. They should put some piece of wood across the beams, because this is steel on steel. It can slide, and then his tires are going to be screwed up, and there'll be an accident. And you see, they're using 2 machines to load it, one grabbing each end. So it takes some skill to do it together as a team. But yeah, I would not haul it like this. Now after this guy, it's my turn. And the guy asked me while I'm waiting, he said, can you see if you can start the grader? And I said, I can do that, but I said, I'm not driving this thing off, because it has no brakes. And he said, oh, don't worry about it, we'll take care of it, you just try to start it. And I went in, tried to start it, nothing. I go check the master switch, there's no signs there, everything is worn off. So I turn it the other way, try to start, no juice at all. Okay, so that means that the master switch was in the correct position first time. I climb back down, turn the master switch, go back in, turn the key, the starter's running, but nothing. I tried to add the throttle, and then I get off, I look at the grader, and the exhaust pipe is closed by that, orange thing. So of course it wouldn't start. So I climbed back on, removed the exhaust cover that Santa Claus from Norway sent me. Try to start it, nothing. By this time I think that the battery is done. So the guy says, the big guy on the right in the coverall says, don't worry about it. You're cold, you want coffee? I said, sure. He says, go in that back door in the office and tell them you want some coffee. They'll fix you up. That's the attitude every driver likes, But this is scary, like, look at this. Why wouldn't they put a piece of wood across the deck over there? See, that's what trucking is all about. Trucking is about people that want to ship stuff, right? So this has to go, right? So evidently someone bought these, whatever's inside those containers, and it's up to the driver to make sure it's safe, not to the shipper. Of course the shipper is willing to accommodate, right? But his main prerogative, his main objective is to ship, get rid of the stuff, take it off his property. So sometimes you gotta be strong and stern with a shipper. And you gotta tell them, yeah, you gotta draw the line sometimes, you know, like, no, this is not safe. Oh, what are you talking about? We do this 20 times a week, you know. We just sent 5 of these the other day. Oh yeah, and how many came back alive? That's my question. You know? I like the setup on his trailer with oversized load sign. He has a couple of pins on top of his fenders. So, and you see it's folded, that yellow sign. It's folded, so all he has to do to, when he haul oversized loader, is just unfold it, and it's all there. I gotta figure out something like that, you know, where I don't want to remove it each time because I often carry oversized loads. I gotta find a solution like that where they stay on. And you see, in this way, also they're clean inside. Oh yeah, now this is a part I remember. You know, when you haul containers, even those sea containers, they have these reinforced corners, and they're always full of dirt and snow in winter, so you have to clean them. And it's like the rule, you know, Henry's law of trucking. If you're picking up a container, all the holes will be plugged with dirt. I don't know who does it. I think there's a special person that travels around the country and just puts dirt in those things, and they pay him big bucks for this. Uh-oh. Oh, there's a van trailer behind me. Jesus, how did he... Yeah, there's a guy backed right into here from the highway next to me. So this Zoom Boom guy is taking something off the dry van. Well, I'll get unloaded eventually. And straight ahead you see Kenworth with a float. I think that one has 3 axles on the trailer, 3 axles on the truck. Has some kind of an old grader. And this guy has quite a big yard. I see lots of everything is used. I see lots of graders, wheel loaders, excavators. He even has a mine truck, you know, one of those Cat or whatever, Volvo mine trucks that can carry like 100 tons. An interesting place. Well, this is the yard. I hooked back to the trailer, and you wouldn't believe what happened. I knew this thing was trouble, and I warned the guy. I said, there's no brakes. And he said, take your chains off. I said, no, I'm not taking my chains off because it will roll. Oh, it's okay. So they brought out like a Zoom Boom, you know, that one that was loading. And this is the yard, right? So I'm just making a U-turn. So they brought this Zoom Boom, and he says, you see, it's pushing in the back. Okay, so the Zoom Boom was pushing this, keeping this thing from rolling backwards. What they forgot is that when you have no brakes, the direction of travel is fully open, right? So the front axle was sitting on the first bolster of the trailer, right after the front axle, and as we found out later, the markings on the levers inside the cab were gone, right? So there's no markings. Oh, you see, this guy has that's what they call load-bearing fenders. You see in the back, the total left and right part was closed. That was an option with my trailer. I didn't go for it because it was 800 pounds extra. And it added $2,000. $2,000 to the cost of the trail. Actually, I don't think I can make this turn. Anyway, so what happened was that the guy hit the wrong button, and the zoom boom was keeping the machine from rolling backwards, and like I said, what they forgot was that it can roll forward, and it did. It rolled forward, and the good thing is that I asked them to lift the blade, because it was sitting, it moved a bit, it was sitting on my bottom frame in the middle. So I made them flip it, you know, like in the normal position. And so when the thing moved, the front axle went over the end of the trailer, and it didn't damage anything because it just basically fell on the blade. And if you can see, this stupid machine is on my left now. No, too much snow there. Jesus. I cannot make this turn. Huh. That's the thing. You know, you get in, there's no way to get out. They have all kinds of machinery here. Let them clean the snow on my left. So that grader was fighting to the very end. He didn't want to go on the trailer. He didn't want to get off the trailer. So what they did, basically, that zoom boom went to the front and lifted the front axle with big difficulty, and pushed the machine back. And the guy looked real scared, the guy inside the cab, because the machine just rolled backwards all the way from the trailer, all 53 feet, and on the ground, and by some luck it didn't fall off the trailer because he just kept his wheel straight. I wish I could have filmed that, but you know, I put my truck far away because this place is pretty tight. Anyway, we'll go find out how I can get out of here. And I'm at the second location. So we are rolling, ladies and gentlemen. Drop the trailer. I think I'm getting good at this. But it really does help when you drop the suspension. Because then you don't have to lower the trailer that much, you know.